Hey everyone, Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. It's Sunday, November the 6th, 2016. 2 days until the big election. And, it's interesting to me because you listen to all the mainstream pundits and that. We kind of figured out that they're all bought and paid for. But then you look at some of the big alternative media people and you think, well, what are these people thinking? Because from my understanding, the United States of America, domiciled within the District of Columbia, is its own city-state, and it's foreign to the states. It's not a part of the United States. So it'd be like, for instance, we had a Vatican in the District of Columbia, or the City of London, which is the financial capital of the world, basically. Those three city-states, it's been said, that rule the world. The Vatican rules over the people that that are involved with the religion and spirituality and all that spiritual stuff. And then the inner city of London handles all of the financial aspects of it. And the District of Columbia is basically the New World Order military. And you can look at the back of the $1 bill and see the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, and you'll also see that in Catholic churches and Jesuit temples and things. So those two are interconnected. Anno Equiptus Novus Ordo Seclorum on the back. It's in Latin, and who else speaks Latin but the Vatican? And it's interesting to know we're voting, I guess, for a president, a CEO, basically a commander-in-chief. But does he really rule the military, or do the financial overlords basically tell him what to do? Is he a puppet? And that's basically what I think. And is it all a show? I mean, to certain aspects, but I don't think if Trump wins on Tuesday that anything's really going to change. I mean, he's out there saying he's going to rebuild the military. Now, over 50% of the money that comes in, I guess, or that's spent in this country goes towards the military now. I mean, you have to maintain all these 140 to 175, or I don't know how many different foreign military bases that they have, paying the military. They want a war with Syria to take that country down and get the central banking system set up there. And that's what all these wars are basically about. And the oil pipelines too, sure, but it's just fascinating to me as I sit here every day and drive around town in Southern California, and it's getting more and more people kind of compacted here. And that's what they want. They want everybody kind of merged into inner city compounds, so they can track and trace you and keep track of everybody. But I'm sitting there thinking, wow, look at all these people rushing to work every day to get their paycheck. And now there's a foreign corporation in the District of Columbia that's cutting out, at the point of a gun, basically, 25 to, 40, 50% of everyone's paycheck. They're just slicing that right off the top. You don't even see it. They just take it. And I'm thinking, wow, what a scam. I mean, where the fuck is all this money going? Or so-called money, or credits, or Federal Reserve notes, or monetized labor. But it's pretty amazing the amount of our energy that they suck off of us. And I'm thinking, well, for what? What am I paying for with that money? Can you send me an itemized bill? Because I want to know. Because personally, I don't want to pay for any bombs, anything to kill people, unless they're attacking me. I don't know. It's so fucked up. But and then I see the people every morning. They have to drive through here because there's a school down the street to drop their kids off at elementary school, and the kids aren't allowed to walk there anymore, so they have to be driven and dropped off and picked up. And these schools are just dumbing the kids down. I mean, of course, you're going to teach you mathematics and how to spell and write and read and arithmetic and things. But ultimately, they don't teach you how to think. They teach you what to think. So they're indoctrination centers. And when you stand back and you look at the whole big fucking picture, we're all basically bonded debt slaves, and I've proved that to everyone. They take bonds out on you when you're born. They issue your social security number, and the bonds are sold on the international market based on the amount of money you're going to pay into the Internal Revenue Service over your lifetime. And just like anything else, just like they would do if you took out a mortgage to buy a house. Of course they're going to sell that because they want the money now, and they want to invest the money in something else. They're going to sell it off to somebody to collect the payments. Collateralized debt obligations, mortgage-backed securities. That's how all this shit works. And we're down here at the bottom. They don't teach us any of this shit, or how the law works, or what the Constitution is. And I came upon this stuff about 10 years ago, and I've been fascinated with it ever since. But what we think is happening in the world is the exact opposite is happening. We're actually chattel debt slaves of foreign corporations. We work for them. We produce replacement slaves for them. They indoctrinate them in the schools. And then I'm thinking, well, what am I paying for? The forced vaccinations of giving me cancer shots? So these other foreign major corporations, then I have to buy what they call health insurance, which is really sick care, which is like $300, $400, $500 a month or something with a $4,500 deductible. I checked it out. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? And they're wondering why it's not working? They are here to suck every last cent of everybody's energy out of them. I mean, that's basically what it is. Definitely hard for some people to wrap their head around. Why do you think they have football, basketball, baseball games on all the time? To keep you in a constant state of kind of a psychological learned helplessness, fucking fetal position, where you're just scared and you don't know what the fuck we're doing here on this planet. What's going on? Depression, alcoholism, heroin, drug. They just flood the drugs in here. And we have to, I think, rise above all this shit. And I think a lot of this is happening now. We're raising our consciousness, not eating the GMO foods, filtering our water, exercising. Not being participants in our own enslavement, not being afraid anymore. Because let's face it, we're all going to die. I mean, nobody gets out of here alive. We're all eventually going to leave this planet and move on to whatever is next. And from what I understand, it's a hell of a lot better than this place. This is kind of like the bottom of the pyramid. Where we go from here is up. You get your head right, your consciousness right. You'll be able to accept that when the time happens. They're just out here telling us we're all, evil, but in a way, we're all just kind of like children in kindergarten. And these are lessons that this is how I think about it. These are lessons that we're learning. Everything is a lesson. And to move us up to different higher levels of consciousness and reality. But, some people don't want to know how and really open their minds up and really understand how this commercial system works. And that's fine. You don't have to go. But even nowadays, you can't really. I was just reading an article the other day. Two people, a guy and a girl. I don't even think they're actually like married. Didn't do the corporate marriage thing, but just kind of wanted to get in a van and just go live out on the road and in the woods and stuff. And the woman got pregnant, so just to be on the safe side, they took her to a hospital, and they refused a birth certificate and social security number. And while they were holding, the mom was feeding the baby, newborn baby. They kidnapped it away from her. That's where we're at right now. Because if you're a United States citizen, and you have a replacement slave, it belongs to them, to the corporate masters. And because if you don't register it, it would be considered abandoned property, and it would be open. I can go on like this for hours. I mean, the Utah clan down in Texas, when the feds came in and raided them, it's just, everything is not what you think it is. In the United States, what we call a government, it's not a government, it's a corporation. It's a foreign corporation with respect to the states. Look it up. Just Google that. Is the United States government a foreign corporation? Corpus Juris Secundum, you'll see it right there. I'll leave a link down here to a bunch of, like 30 points that everybody should know, but probably don't. You know, with where you can go and look it up too. And then they'll tell you. It's all out in the open. But we just kind of, through a learned helplessness, normalcy bias, Stockholm syndrome, whatever you want to call it. And when I say normalcy bias, I mean, it's like, so you come into this world and you see everybody doing something, and you figure, well, somebody had to check it out at some point and make sure this was the right thing to do. But no, they didn't. Because believe it or not, most people have a 70 to 80% IQ, 70 to 80 IQ. I mean, just like before. And they don't think. And aren't able to recognize and define and solve their own problems. They want to outsource it. This is what I do too. I mean, I put together all this information, but people still want to know, well, what do I put in box B, you know? Well, if you're asking me that question, then you don't understand what's going on. And you need to go back and rethink it and relearn it and read the information and understand it. And then when somebody came up to you and asked you, why are you filing a UCC1 financing statement? Why are you doing an A for V on your certificate of live birth? If you go, I don't know, there's some guy on the internet said I should do it, and then I can, you know, all my debt's prepaid. It's not that easy. I mean, you have to study the information and know it better than they know it. Because the people that are enforcing the corporate statutes and codes, they don't know any of this shit. They've just been brainwashed like everyone else. It's like people in the military, you know. I feel sorry for them the most. Because they think they're actually living in a country. And when they go off to fight these foreign wars, they're actually fighting for our freedom. What freedom? What, I mean, freedom of speech? Well, to a certain extent, yeah. Are you fighting for the freedom so they can forcibly inject me with vaccines? Are you fighting for the freedom that they can put chemicals and fluoride and shit in my water? Are you fighting for the freedom that I have to pay $3.50 a gallon for a gallon of gas? When our children went over there and to steal it from the other countries? I mean, shouldn't we catch a break there somehow? The freedom of warrantless spying by the NSA, the FBI, the CIA. Did you know, this is an interesting point, and I'm going to cut it off after this, but we look at the corporate media, like CNN, Fox News, these things, and they passed a law a couple of years ago. It's now legal to basically propagandize the U.S. citizens. It's legal to do that. And there was a Supreme Court case that these CNN, Fox News, these companies that we're going to look to go, wow, who won the election? You know, we look to them. But these are privately owned corporations. And through a Supreme Court decision, they're under no legal obligation to tell you the truth about anything. It's like a reality TV show. They don't have to tell you the truth about anything. That's their own private company. They do it. It's a TV show. It's a mind-fuck programming system. So I just keep that in mind, you know. When they start telling you, you know, we're projecting a win for Hillary Clinton on Tuesday night, which they're probably going to do. They're probably going to try and steal it. But, and if you went, hey, you know, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you because you're lying. I mean, they've already come out with the graphics, thousands of them, that they're going to use for each state, each county, each whatever, showing just a small lead that Hillary won. And it's going to be like, oh, you know, Hillary, Donald Trump put up a hell of a fight, you know, but Hillary just squeaked out a victory, and now we're waiting for the concession speech. from Donald Trump. So I don't even know if it really means anything, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. I don't know, because I think the agenda is going to keep moving forward. The agenda for the freedom to have them come and take away our firearms, issue martial law, have staged school shootings, false flag terror attacks, 9/11s, Oklahoma Cities, Waco. I mean, it doesn't matter to them, because we're just the chattel death slaves, and we're so stupid. This is how they rationalize it in their own heads. We don't care, right? If you walk up to somebody and say, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, and they don't say, hey man, no, I don't want you to do that, and you just stand there and go, Durr. All right, what are they going to do? They're going to beat the shit out of you and take your fucking money. That's just that simple. But I don't know, hopefully tomorrow we won't have any false flag terror attacks. Mike Adams, the health ranger on naturalnews.com, put out a big article, and he's like, yeah, if they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it tomorrow. And you can't really put anything past them. Because could you imagine, that's what they really want? I mean, that's what they really want, is just a public that is just poor and desperate and has to go to them for everything. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, that's what they want. They want a superior upper class of elites, and then just the public, which they can farm, they can harvest us, basically, indoctrinate us from birth into living in our own little box of get a job, pay your taxes, get your vaccines, go to school, and die. And never really realizing what life is all about, just being a complete economic debt slave, living in slavery, because that's what debt slavery is. And they took away the change, and they saddled us with debt. Every U.S. citizen owes $150,000 to foreign international bankers, the International Monetary Fund, and their collection agency is the IRS, who's not licensed to do business in any state in the United States, period. They're a privately owned company. See, but people don't understand that it's all done through straw men and corporate fictions. Because when you're born, they take your trust and they monetize it, and then they actually kill it and basically put it into a probate situation. Like you're a dead entity. Your name is in all capital letters. You're dead. And they make you think that that's you, but it's not you. It's a corporate fiction. Instead, it's in probate. I can go on and on for hours. But anyway, if you want to learn more about this information, go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. The good news is once you learn how the system works, you can start using it to your advantage. We can't stop being victims, and start being the kings and queens, basically, that we should be. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. If you've listened up to this point, I applaud you. Thank you very much. And have a great Sunday.